My name is Bruno, and I became a black person.
There comes a time in a human's life where sometimes insanity gets dropped into their lap.
For 6 weeks, two families, my family and a black family, got together in a house in the valley in LA, and we decided to swap races.
Where one comes across something so bizarre, so outrageous, one must see it to believe it. Curiously, I asked myself, is this actuality? Did someone actually say, yeah, let's greenlight this and put it on national television? How did this even get greenlit is my question. Ladies, gents, and my non-binary friends, this is where my journey begins into black, white. Oh, and quick sidebar, this was produced by Ice Cube. Yeah, that's where we're going. 2006 was a year where people just didn't give a shit what was on TV. Give me anything just to get my mind off of this capitalistic hellscape that I'm living. Literally, I'm good with anything. Give me whatever you got that's entertaining. Enter black, white. And don't ask me why there's periods behind those words. I have no clue. This reality TV show aired on March 2006 until April 2006, with only 6 episodes before they canceled the out of it. It quickly became not only a laughingstock in the comedic world, but it also became super controversial. Let me give you a quick synopsis of the show. 2 families of 3, one being black, one being white, put into multi-million-dollar makeup where they turn the black family white and the white family black. Essentially blackface. And they're gonna drop these families into different social experiments in public to see how they're treated while they're the other race. And I guess I can see why they would No, you know what? Actually, I can't see why they would greenlight this. This is racist as shit. FX found it so awesome to essentially glorify blackface. FX being owned by Disney, Disney has done blackface before, so I'm not surprised at all that the executives came up with this idea and said, a show where we turn white people into black people and vice versa? What a marvelous idea. Don't you think, Bob Iger? Yeah, I think that'd be lovely. Yeah, it's greenlit. Go on. Have fun. Now I already know you guys are gonna ask me, Ghost, did you watch all the episodes? Absolutely not. I could hardly get through the first episode. And trust me, all I need is the first episode to prove to you why this should have never been greenlit. And just to clear it up, before anyone gets into my comment section saying, bro, this is fake. This is reality TV. Reality TV is fake. Yes, I know this. Reality TV is not reality. It's a facade word making you think it's reality. However, the things that happen in those social experiments could happen and have happened to people. And that's what I'm trying to document here. So the show starts off with them, of course, getting into makeup. And I gotta give FX credit on their production value. This makeup is superb. It actually won an Emmy for best makeup. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute. This show won an Emmy. SpongeBob SquarePants hasn't even won an Emmy. Better Call Saul hasn't even won an Emmy. But this did. My God.
Being a former basketball player, I always thought how nice it would be to be able to jump, get off the ground, leap, and slam dunk like these guys can. And there's no doubt about it. Blacks are superior. Physically, hands down.
Wait. Does this dude think that once he puts this makeup on, he's gonna become this great athlete? I'm confused at where this is going. And mind you, y'all, this isn't the first time this dude comes off racist. Just pay attention. And just to point out real quick, the makeup artist applying his blackface drops this side smirk like, bro, can you stop moving? Look what you did. Look, you made me add too much, damn.
Yes, I do look like a white guy. Totally. Yeah, I think I'll break out the sticks, play a little golf. Awesome, dude. Awesome.
Oh God, that laugh that makeup artist just dropped. You know that laugh, that awkward. We're laughing. What am I doing here? Did I seriously sign up for this? How much am I getting paid? Now, when this dude popped up on my screen, I recognized him immediately. Dave Chappelle has destroyed this show, and now I appreciate it even more. What's messed up is I didn't even know he was making fun of black-white. Now I know why he had that ridiculous makeup on at the Chappelle show. So now that the makeup is on, the families are ready to roll into the world with their new races. The families see each other for the first time in their new identities. Their reactions are typical. But our racist homeboy Bruno comes off hard. Pay attention to his reaction to his new wife's look.
God, it's just really beautiful. I just like I'm in love with this woman. It's beautiful.
So the first social experiment begins. The families are sent out into the world, into the public, to see how they're treated in their new personas. In blackface.
You got a pretty good stroke going there, so I come over to see what you're doing here, so I can try to straighten my game like that. So there you go. I feel very accepted, as if I was one of their own. Appreciate your time. Your name?
I'm John.
John Brian White.
Brian White? That's the best that you could come up with? I hate you, FX.
People were talking to me like, my sister.
See, Lee was trying to holler.
What?
Holler means he's trying to go out with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was liking you, like digging the way you look. You know.
Wait, how did you not know this guy was hitting on you? Have you never been hit on? And I'm sorry, I am not going to accept the fact that you don't know what the word holla means. I swear to God, FX made her do this. Even the chaperone is like, you don't know what holla means?
As a white guy, I'm relaxed when I'm shopping. I put on my white makeup and I'm having fun.
This is so sad. You have to be in white makeup to be comfortable in public? That's sad, man. Seriously, this is, what the holy hell, man. What kind of country do we live in?
And then the most amazing thing happened. The guy actually took my foot and put it in the shoe and put a shoehorn in the back to make sure my foot slide in. Is this what the white guys get? This all the benefits they get? It's never happened to me black in 40 years.
Wow. The two families finally meet each other, where they're gonna be sharing the same house for the next couple of weeks, where they'll be discussing their social experiments and how they're treated in the world.
Lock on the door. We don't want the black people stealing anything.
My mom and Bruno don't exactly spend a lot of time with black people, so I think I'm a little nervous that they might say the wrong thing.
Did you catch what he said? This is the start of Bruno's downfall. It seems as if Bruno has never been around a black family before, so he's worried that the black family that's gonna be living with him is gonna steal the three things that he brought into that house. Yeah, make sure you lock up those khakis and that pink shirt so the black family that's living with you doesn't steal it. Don't nobody want your dude. Shut the up.
I was figuring I'd walk in and just basically high five everybody.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
High fiving everybody.
No, I keep thinking there's something in the walk. Don't you think there's just some kind of, let's say, the walk? You know, I was thinking kind of, how about a white guy, sort of more straight, whereas a black was sort of like just a little bit of roll.
That's not really bad.
Wait, stop. Black people and white people walk differently? Since when? Since when has this been a thing? Dude, this is foreign to me. The way you walk represents your race? This I had no clue about. This seems really dumb, not gonna lie. I mean, even Brian is confused by it.
Do we really want to be like saying, okay, so that's what most black people do, therefore I should do it to blend in? Because I know that like all of us are trying to learn about the other race, but it's so much in the language of stereotype.
I don't know yet if I'm gonna feel comfortable putting on an act. I'm comfortable being me. I don't want to just be sending out bull.
You know, the millennial daughter is the only one looking at this and thinking, this is so ridiculous. People are people. People act the way they act because of their unique personalities, not because of their race. That's what she's saying here. Race doesn't define your personality.
Is it your sense that blacks generally look down on whites?
No, we don't look down on you. It's just your nature is to be more curious than ours. Your nature is to, if you hear a noise, to find out what the noise is. We hear noise, we're getting away from the noise, and we're worried about what the noise is later.
All right, I gotta give him that. That is funny as shit. I am all about spooky, scary skeletons. My wife and I literally are the exact same. We're sitting in the house, and if we hear a noise, the first thing I want to do is, what's that noise? What just happened? Did you hear that? Let's go explore that. I immediately become curious. What was that? Did y'all hear that? Let's go explore.
Were we supposed to coach you all or ask?
She doesn't have to do that because I know how to adapt and get along with white people. because that's something that I learned to do, because white people are the ones I had to deal with when I had to interview for a job or anything. You know, I know how to communicate with them to get what I want.
We interact with whites daily. Black culture has to conform to white society to make it.
The truism behind the statement that you just said is astronomical. I can't even imagine being a black person in the United States, let alone being a black woman. These are things that most white people don't get. They think that everything is just smooth, everything is just fine and dandy. Black people have to literally mold to white society every single day just to get the things that they need. This is something that I want more white people to understand and acknowledge. Accepting this fact is a step away from systemic racism.
Being black is a very subtle thing, you know. Get the head count out of here.
Don't ever do that again. Ever.
The goal of the meeting now is to talk about the idea of racism and how do we recognize in other people what they are seeing in us when we are in different skins.
The idea of racism? What the hell is the idea of racism? The idea of racism should be to eradicate it off of this planet and treat everyone equally. That's the idea of racism that I want, for it to be completely gone. I hate the fact that people treat other people differently because of their tone of skin. It's pathetic.
It'll be interesting, and I'm sure it'll happen, where I'll be in black, and I'll get some attitude from some prick white guy, and I won't have all the history of resentment that a black man has, and I'll be able to with him. Oh, just, you know, mentally spar with him and go,
Like,
you know, it's
why?
just, hey, you know, I won't get angry. I'll just kind of smile to myself and go, wow, why'd you say that?
Brian is about to get up and beat the out of Bruno's ass. This is a look of disgust. He probably had to deal with being called that word all the time. Honestly, when I saw this part, I wanted Brian to get up and knock Bruno the out. But no. He had to make sure to get it out. And FX didn't bleep this. I did. And I want to ask Bruno, what resentment are you talking about? Bruno's white privilege is seeping out, and Brian knows it. But Brian is about to explain exactly how systemic racism has affected him. Listen to this.
You know, no one's going to just strictly come up, you know, and say, hey, or anything like that. Because that kind of racism is really not there today. Now it's more, we won't get the positions that we're qualified for, or we won't get the service that everybody else get. But I think that Rose and Carmen and Bruno is going to get a lot more out of this than we will, because of the fact that white don't have to go through the day-to-day small things that you never think about. Like if I go into the mall as a black man, I'm going to be looked at.
Right. Or follow.
Follow.
Really?
Yes. Really? I mean, look at them. They're confused by it. They can't understand how this is possible. I always say this in my videos. This is white privilege 101. I gotta tell you guys, not knowing that systemic racism is still roaming around the United States disturbs me. It disturbs me knowing that these people don't know that systemic racism is real. A man named Bruno will much quicker get a job than a man named Lamar. Trust and believe that. Even if their qualifications are vastly different and Lamar has higher qualifications than Bruno, Bruno will still get that job. They might have gotten rid of segregation legally, but some businesses still do that. It's just very hush-hush.
Today, Carmen and I are going to be black people in a focus group of all black people.
It'll be a panel of black people talking about race and racism. I feel totally confident that no one will be aware of the fact that I'm a honky.
Oh, this is about to get interesting.
What do you see today as the biggest difference between being black and white in America?
When I think of white people, I think ethnocentric. Very much like my way of seeing things is the best, most correct way. And anything that's different than that, you know, I don't want to get to know. It's assimilation. You know, it's kind of like as long as we assimilate and do what they do, we're okay. But if we're kind of like off on the side doing our own little thing, you might be a little bit intimidating.
I can't describe to you guys how true this is. I'm a white guy, and I know that white people do this kind of shit. This woman knows exactly what they're talking about. She's probably in shock that they're saying this in front of her because she had never heard it in person. I bet you money that she's thinking right now, damn, I do that. But now, let's hear white people saying the things that they experience when they're around black people. I already know where this is gonna go.
How prevalent is racism still in today's society?
You know, I want to think that everybody is treated equally, and you know what? They're not.
I had an experience where I was managing a girl who was black, and she had the worst attitude I have ever seen. I wanted to fire her so bad. It had nothing to do with the color of her complexion. Whatever I would have to document to fire her, I'd have to have an even longer list to make sure that we're not sued.
Just by your demeanor on how you're speaking about this situation, I don't believe a word you're saying. So just stop lying. I know that you wanted to fire her because she was too black for you. I've heard managers say this in front of me. I was 16 years old then. Managers like her would be in a world of surprise if I worked at a company like that today and I heard a manager say some shit like that. I would not stay silent.
I don't look at a black person and say, I want to do harm. But sometimes there's these innate things that I think have been taught that, you know, when I shake someone's hand that's black and my instinct is to wipe it or something.
So, do you want a real-life example on how racism is taught? There you have it! And this dude even said, and I quote, "Some innate things that have been taught," end quote. They have been taught to you. Most white people teach this exact shit to their kids in the United States. I want to ask this guy, why do you want to wipe your hand after shaking a black person's hand? I really want to know that. Are you telling me that you're disgusted by these people? Because that's how this is coming off. I mean, look, I've heard racism on TV, but this is one of the most racist things I've heard a white person say on national television, and do it so freely, so calmly. Hearing things like this makes me ashamed.
I look forward to having someone say, hey, you know, you're a son of a I hate you, and expect me to get all freaked out about it. And I just look at him and go, gee, why did you call me that? And that would be the end of it.
My God, he really likes saying that word, doesn't he? My dude, you are a misinformed individual, aren't you? He has no clue. He can't even comprehend at how powerful that word is to black people. He thinks that when he's a black man and if he gets called the N-word, he's gonna respond very calmly and the situation will be diffused. Everything will be A-okay. No, dude, that's not how that works. Black people were called that word for 400 plus years while they worked for free to build this country. You don't understand the rage, the fury, the utter disrespect behind that word because you've never experienced racism, and it shows.
I think that most white people, not all, would love to say in the presence of black and not have any repercussions.
100 billion% correctamundo, my friend. You are absolutely correct. I know several that want to say it in public and not want to get knocked the out. Or maybe they should, so they can understand the pain behind that word. Now, I gotta tell you guys, the second part of the social experiment is kind of boring. So I'm just gonna tell it to you here. White Brian goes to a white bar in an all-white town and gets a job, and of course immediately gets the gig, cause White Brian. But no. I want to focus on Bruno's social experiment.
Today I went to several car dealerships to see if I'm treated any differently as a black person.
I've spoken to black friends. They'll say that you don't know what it is to be the black man who's looked at with suspicion. Somebody looks at me and they have hatred because I'm black. That will be soul-shaking.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
What do we do to our inner business today?
It's kind of interesting. I was on the lot no more than 20, 30 seconds before somebody would notice me and come right over to me.
What if you don't have such good credit?
When I tell them that I have lousy credit, they tell me that I'm going to have to put more money down. I think that's rather standard.
Didn't seem to me that anyone was keying in on my blackness.
In general, I got excellent service, and I'm finding that I'm treated exactly the same.
Bruno, are you kidding me? From all the places that you could have went to do your social experiment, you went to a car dealership? Dude, these people could give a what you look like. Car salespeople literally don't care. They just want to sell you a car. This is literally the worst place you could have picked to try this social experiment. Why didn't you go to a restaurant Or better yet, why didn't you go apply for a job and see what happens? You could have done a multitude of things, but no, Bruno picked a parking lot. Dude, they would sell a car to an elephant if it walked into a car shop.
Bruno's been white all his life until these last few days, so he doesn't know what to look for or what to expect.
Oh, I know. I've known this the moment Bruno opened his mouth. Again, for some reason, FX picked really dumb social experiments for the two kids as well. A poem session, which was amazing. The poems were incredible, actually. The other kid went to a food ethics class. I don't know how these last social experiments got greenlit. FX, you really suck. And you put this as your last segment? But I digress. It's White Brian's first day at the all-white bar in the all-white town. And I just want to highlight the last thing that happened in this segment. He had a conversation with a white guy at a bar about white things. And I knew exactly where this is gonna go. I just didn't expect it to get this deep.
Then I got into some conversation with a guy.
There you go.
It was so easy because they thought I was so white up in there. I just asked him a simple question. What is the neighborhood like?
Yeah, well, this is pretty much a white area, so you won't have any problems.
Oh, okay. Fit right in.
I grew up in this neighborhood, and this is one of the last somewhat unaffected bastions of middle-class Caucasian America inside Los Angeles.
Nice quiet community.
Most of the cities around this area have changed significantly. This is the one that's almost like it's been insulated for some reason.
Wow. I kind of got that feel when I came through this neighborhood.
And the neighbors want it to stay that way.
Exactly.
They don't want a lot of change. They don't want a lot of building. They don't want a lot of immigration because they've seen what's happened in the peripheral communities.
Oh, okay.
And it's taken the quality of life down.
I hope you all caught everything this just said. The audio is shitty because FX sucks. But the pure racism that's coming out of this man's mouth is unbelievable. So you, sir, are essentially saying that if immigrants, Hispanics, Latinos, black people, indigenous people, Asian people come into your neighborhood, it'll lower the quality of life? Honestly, if I was a guy that was sitting next to him and I heard a conversation like this, I would have to turn to him and ask, sir, you really don't understand human cultures at all, do you? You actually believe that if minorities come into your neighborhood, it will decrease the quality of life? I don't think that dude ever left his neighborhood. Ever. He thinks that white culture, which, by the way, doesn't exist, is the best culture. No, Cupcake. It's not. I would rather be around Latinos, Hispanics, Asians, indigenous people, black people than my own kind. And that's a straight fact.
I think if I was in there black, of course I wouldn't get that kind of information. But because he thought I was white, he had that comfort zone. He spilled his guts.
Oh, and did he spill his guts, Brian? This definitely votes Republican because he wouldn't dare vote for them liberals. What did y'all think of this? Should I do more shows like this and call them out on their BS? Comment below. Let me know. Travel with me into the utopia of contradictions, my friends, right here where I explore conservative TikTok. Oh man, the things we find in that universe. Come travel with me. Click right here. And if you can, please support the channel on Patreon. I will leave those links right here and in the description below. Come join my private Discord where we talk politics all the time. Subscribe for weekly leftist videos, and I am out.